Who is this cat, why is he important, and who are these three shirtless people dragging away an unconscious man? In this video, I'm going to explain 2 out of 3 of those things. To make this VR chat video, I had to go back to my hometown and hang out with Costa, which is something I wouldn't wish upon my worst enemy, who also happens to be Costa. This is the street where I grew up, and where I used a flip phone to record and edit my first ever video with some of the neighborhood kids.
Happy, I'm home. Happy. Happy, what happened? Bikini. He's in a better place now.
This award-winning masterpiece actually went on to get a sequel where the boy must travel to the United States to hunt down his father's killer.
I am going to cross the border to the USA.
I have no idea why he was using that accent, but we did say a lot of dumb stuff on camera back then.
Yeah, my goal for the night is to. Oh wait.
There was this cat that used to come around my front yard. We called her Angel. We always put food out for Angel, but we never adopted her because she was pretty rough looking from living outdoors, and my mom didn't want her inside. One day we had a snowstorm, and after the storm passed, Angel never ended up coming back around to the house. And I remember as a kid, I told myself that a family probably saw her looking so sad out in the cold and they adopted her, but I knew that wasn't true. However, Angel is not the cat that I mentioned earlier. That cat is Oreo. I got Oreo when I was really young. Everyone loved Oreo. My mom viewed him as another kid, and he'd always be hanging out with us whenever my friends came over. Plus, he had a real screen presence on camera. This was a 7-Eleven I used to go to all the time at 4 AM because everything else in the town closed early. I guess it must have closed after I moved away. This used to be a mural about the town's history and agriculture, but they painted over it for whatever reason. Lots of the streets we used to walk aren't even recognizable anymore. A lot of them have houses popping up everywhere, and the few that don't are just constantly under construction. Most people I knew here are gone too, with the exception of Costa, who just came back after university while he gets ready to move down to the city, and James, who never left.
My least favorite Costa memory?
Yeah.
Just like probably being born.
You remember that?
Yeah, it was awful.
Oh, okay.
So, but in grade 6, we were having like a sex ed class, but they divided like between, I think it was grade 5 actually. It was grade 5 or grade 6. They divided us between the males and females, right? Between girls and boys, like girls in one class, boys in another class. So the boys got done faster. So we got out first, so we just like let into the hallway before recess or whatever.
Yeah.
And like the girls were still in their class. You know how like every like door had like a window on it?
Yeah.
So like we had like these handouts with just like naked like guys on them, just like because we were talking about the anatomy and stuff, and I guess girls had one for girls. So I just thought this was the funniest. I still think it's hilarious, but it's just so stupid. We just had like the naked guy handout, and we just like pressed it against the window of the class until they saw.
It was nice walking around town again talking about pointless stories. Sometimes you can't help but feel nostalgic for the most mundane things.
In town, we have this homeless man that rides his bike around the town. His nickname is Bicycle Bob. We don't know his actual name, or how he gets his, or like if he has money, but we know that he sort of is around from time to time.
Have you ever actually seen Bicycle Bob?
No, but I've heard stories of of people like giving him rides around town during like the winter and whatnot.
I've heard of Bicycle Bob, yeah. He's, everything James said was true about him.
Have you ever seen Bicycle Bob?
I've never seen Bicycle Bob, and as a matter of fact, and nobody that I know, except for apparently James's friends, has ever seen Bicycle Bob.
Do you know if Bicycle Bob's even real?
No. So it's like, you know how like ghosts, some people believe in ghosts, right?
Yeah.
You know, some people swear they've seen ghosts. I've never seen a ghost. It's like the same thing with Bicycle Bob. Some people swear it's real, but nobody has any empirical evidence, like, that ghosts exist. Same with Bicycle Bob. Nobody has any empirical. It's stupid. I can't not laugh.
I heard he was rich and he was like with his family, and his house burned down with his family inside it. His like wife and children died. So apparently he just lost it after and sort of just hangs out now. Isn't really all there. Hasn't really been there for years.
I remember my grade 1 teacher a lot because she was like the sweetest woman ever. Her name was Miss Linton, and she was like kind of like this, you know, like semi-old, like she's obviously pretty old now, but I think she still teaches. She's like this pretty old like lady, kind of has like short like graying hair, and she would always talk like very like, oh hello class, and she just like loved every one of us. So anyway, this kid named Wyatt in my class, and Wyatt hit his growth spurt pretty early, but he was like always a big kid, right? Like this kid was probably like a foot taller than anybody else in the class. Wyatt was like almost 5 feet tall probably. He was a big kid. A lot of people used to make fun of him back then, I guess because he was bigger, and he kind of like looked a little bit funny back in the day as well. It kind of had like, you know, some like, I guess like he was like upset because Miss Linton made him like do like work. Oh, I remember exactly what happened actually. We were doing like a thing where we had to like write, like it was like a spelling thing. So she like gave us worksheets where we had to like write like sentences or whatever, right, to practice our spelling. So she gave us like an hour or something. And after an hour, she just like checked back on us because she wanted us to like work independently for an hour. And Wyatt had written, I remember explicitly actually, she got mad because he wrote exactly one L, and it was just like a lowercase L on his page. And she was like, Wyatt, it's been an hour and you wrote one L, and she was getting mad at him because he just like obviously didn't give a shit about the work, right?
Yeah.
So he like got mad and he like got really flustered because other people started laughing at him because we were grade 1 and we all thought it was hilarious. In fact, it still is hilarious now that he only wrote an L. So like I think it was the next day after that where he was like flustered or something, so he came to school and like we had desks, right? So he like got up on the desk and he just like stood like on the desk and like turned around and then just like pulled his pants down and just like mooned our grade 1 teacher, like this old sweet old woman. I'm sitting at my desk and my grade 1 teacher just like starts falling over and she's like, children, I'm faint, and she just like fell over and just like smacked on the ground, and then everybody just ran out of the classroom and like tried to find help for her. But anyway, I guess it just was caused by the stress of this kid mooning her after writing a single L.
This is where I went to elementary school, but it's a parking lot now. This pizza place used to actually be a different pizza place owned by a husband and wife. They were geniuses because they were the only restaurant on the street open until 3 a.m. So when people got out of the bars, they'd go over there and get some pizza. One night, I was in there with James when the couple started arguing, and the wife screams about how this isn't the life she wanted, before walking out. A few months later, they closed down, and I've never found better pizza for $5 since.
There was a kid we knew in high school who was I didn't like him very much. Whatever, anyway, so there's this kid in high school and we were hanging out at this park one time. I think it was like grade 10 or 11. We were just swinging on the swing set behind us. And this kid that we knew, he was friends with us in our friend group, was climbing this tree that I'm sitting on here. And he was like way up in like near the top branches. And I think we were like arguing about something. This guy thought the best course of action was just like, I guess to people he disagreed with, he just like spat on me from like the top of the tree, and it's like he spat in my hair, and it was just the most disgusting thing. I was like ready to scrap at this point because I was like pissed off. I was like, who the hell spits at somebody? That's like such a stupid fucking thing to do. But but everybody else thought it was hilarious. Like, oh, good old guy, he spat on Costa. Like, it's real fucking funny.
Have you considered, like, maybe you just don't have high enough IQ to understand the joke?
Yeah, I consider that every day.
I took so many photos and videos of us back in the day that by the time high school ended, I had over 10,000 photos. The idea of not preserving a memory felt the same as saying that the memory didn't matter. So I always felt this need to document all the stuff we did, so I could tell myself, yes, I experienced this, I lived this, and it won't be forgotten. I used to romanticize stuff like crazy, and I know to an extent I still do it.
This is my old house. There's not much to say about it. It's just a house. I take issue with ghosting people, so, like, I try to keep up with most people, but, like, anybody who's in high school right now watching this, kids, high school suck. Don't worry about your high school friends. After high school, a pretty good chance you're just not going to talk to them anymore. Ever. Because they suck.
So, sorry, Costa, can you say I, Costa Reed, believe it is not badass to drunk drive? The reason I asked that question at that moment was because I had a flashback to this time where we printed out a black and white photo of my friend Jizoe's face and wrote the quote, "Don't drink and drive" on it before posting it up in our school.
It's his birthday today, actually.
Or it would have been.
He's not. Grr. I don't like this. Away! Go away! No, not closer. No! I'm so scared.
That's her bag now.
Jesus Christ, there's claws on this cat. What do you want?
Okay, chill, it's okay.
I can't shoot with her in the room.
No, it's okay, she's okay. Okay, you good?
No.
So I'm here with the son of legendary director behind the masterpiece Shit.avi. Shit.avi is a beautiful webcam video recorded by Costa's dad. The video really changed the way we view the world and shaped us into the people we are today.
The video opens with...
This is a test to see if you're gay.
The director's adjusting the camera. He looks very aloof as well. Great acting.
Because I know I'm not gay, but are you gay?
I think the video was intentionally filmed in 240p instead of 480 as an artistic choice. He shifts the camera over to me because I was an actor in this film. I'm facing away at the moment on my computer.
Cousin It is gay. Look at him. Big fat.
More unsavory language was permitted back then. Film didn't age well in that regard, but still maybe has some value to modern film scholars insofar as how it was shot and the techniques used, things like this.
Oh my god. He's picking his earwax and making candles.
Oh yeah, definitely. This is my ear.
What do you think a very popular interpretation of the film is that the director is actually a Christ figure? And has there been any talks about Shit.avi 2, or as the fans like to call it, Shit.mp4?
Oreo, you know I could never betray you. What's up, Oreo? Do you miss me? Oreo, do you even care? Look me in the eye, Oreo. No. Give me a high five. High five. High five. That's not how you high five, Oreo.
This used to be a Mexican restaurant we ate at every day for lunch. Like many places we used to spend our time, it isn't there anymore. After high school, my friends all started to leave for college or university. I made an attempt to leave also, but after failing to make it into film school, I stayed behind. And, to be honest, I was okay with that. Everything was changing so fast that it freaked me out a little. That's what I loved about Oreo, especially in my last couple years living here. With so much changing, it was nice to have something consistent.
I am concerned that I might be stuck here. It has crossed my mind. It's unnerving, I'd say, more than scary. Yes, I have thought about moving out. Just feels like disrupting the status quo. I don't know.
I don't want to be here in 5 years, and I'm not going to be. I can guarantee you that much, because I'm not going to be here like next month, you know. Even if it was like an awful place, and like now you can recognize it's an awful place, just like a lot of people do with their hometowns, it still has this like nostalgia effect, like when you go certain places or whatever. Because when you're a kid growing up here, you don't notice all of the bad stuff or like people.
Wait, Jerry, is your car here? Oh, that's easy peasy. We can fit.
No, you can't. You can Oh god.
You can try.
One sec, just drive to my house.
Coast in the trunk.
Oh god.
Coast in the trunk.
But that
I don't want to be arrested. In Jerry's car? I don't want to be arrested.
Okay, then you're getting a ticket.
Someone put a blanket over me.
I don't think that'll help.
Let's go.
We'll wrap you in a garbage bag.
I don't want to be arrested.
Put your head down. Jerry's going to get.
We're going like 2 minutes away.
Oh.
I don't want to be arrested.
Shut up. Bye, Costa. No, he's going soft. There's no point. No, wait. Wait, good job, John. No, I got to say it.
Go.
Run, Graham.
Little.
We want to make daily vlogs with me?
Sure.
Okay.
I was gonna make weekly vlogs when I started going to university.
That's right here. No, start now. Make weekly vlogs.
I feel like because some of us are going to university, we should make weekly vlogs to keep up with each other.
Happy birthday to James. Happy birthday to James. Happy birthday, dear you. Happy birthday, dear James.
Woo!
This is one of the most beautiful things I've ever witnessed in my entire life.
We're in the porta potty.
James.
Hurry up for the ice cream milk.
Oh, nice.
Graham, come on. Already?
Okay, it's like you thought that wasn't gonna happen at some point.
You're asking what I'm doing. I'm making a milkshake. I made a
okay,
milkshake
okay,
every day for
You guys act like you've never seen a milkshake made before.
Yeah.
But like, how are you gonna put the lid on the magic bowl?
That after.
Oh, where you at? Oh, that ain't fun. Oh, where you at? Where you at?
Oh, look, the nice Oreo touch. Classic.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
Oh, on the Oreo too.
So this dog, he always, my grandma gave him like food and stuff, so we'd always go like around my grandma's house, and like one day my little cousin like befriended the dog, and they like played with the dog and fed it for like a day, and then she was like going on and on about how like she loved the dog and it was like her best friend, and then eventually she was like, bye dog, and she like let it out of the gate, and like right when it like left the gate and it went onto the road, it just got hit by a passing truck. It's like her face, she was like smiling and laughing, and then her face just was like, she was like in shock. She couldn't move her face because the dog kind of like, its head like exploded in like the tire.
Plot twist. It died.
6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Happy birthday!
It would have been better if they didn't.
There's sort of tapioca fruits and like is it like a dessert? Yeah, it's really good. What do you think of it, Costa?
A little big. I don't like tapioca that much, and it looks like, I don't know, what's that weird jelly? The grass jelly? What's it taste like?
It doesn't really taste like much. It's sort of sweet.
So it's a dessert that tastes like nothing.
No, it's really good.
Costa's like, it's healthy. It's not my kind of style.
It is pretty healthy.
Oh, it's not my style.
I can't see it on my camera.
Oh, there it is.
Oh, there it is. Whoa. Jason's scared of spiders, so he went over there.
I'm scared of spiders too. I'm completely arachnophobic.
No! Hold on!
All he wants to do is eat.
Jason, come over here so you can get bitten. Become Spider-Man.
Imagine lightning just.
What's happening, James? James, that's beautiful.
What do you call that?
Play piano?
No. That actually sounded kind of nice.
Keep playing. Jason's pissing on the fucking playground.
Okay, I don't want to be carried.
You know? Okay, time to drive to the next playground.
Jason, we were gonna hang out there.
I guess this vlog isn't getting uploaded.
No, let's go to another park and then I'll piss on that one.
We're young and wild and crazy.
I'm doing the splits on this thing.
You want to show a nice romantic?
No, Jason, stop.
This is like the rough. This is like the rough. It's like, whoa.
Stop.
Whoa. And this is like the crazy stuff. It's like.
What up, Jerry?
What do you have left to do this summer, Jerry?
Fair enough. Jerry.
Yeah, this is an Oreo vlog. He's been taking medicine recently because he has like an enlarged heart, which is something apparently mostly dogs get. So he's taking dog pills. Like there's just the word dog written all over his medicine. But you know, it's for him. And he's taking this other small pill for water in his lungs. But he doesn't seem to really care. He doesn't really seem bothered about it at all. He seems pretty healthy all the time. So I'll keep this short and sweet. Any final words, Kat? Yeah, me too.
Did you take a video of that like sculpture with the two testicles yesterday?
Oh no, I didn't have much battery. I had to save it for the Asian market.
What the fuck?
There was a sculpture that me and Jason saw. We were discussing how it made us feel.
Like you're caged in or like you're trapped, but it's like still open. But
Yeah,
They're nuts. It's just nuts.
I know what you mean.
Thought it had more meaning.
What do you regret in life, Shizue?
What I regret? A bunch of things. You just gotta learn. You should turn those regrets into, I don't know. You just gotta learn, you gotta be a better person.
I regret not asking my high school crush.
Yeah. What happens?
And 5 years from now, I'm going to be like, why didn't I do that?
Yeah, what happens if you don't? And then Jason from the future comes through like a portal and he's like, why didn't you just ask out your high school crush, Jason? Life would have been so much better. We're just gonna watch the sunset.
Oh my god, look at it. It's beautiful.
You know, I always see things that are like, you shouldn't record fireworks because you're never going to end up rewatching the video. But I think we're going to be rewatching this one day.
About a year had passed since people I knew had moved on to other things in life. I was still living in town, and I was sitting in my living room when I realized something was wrong with Oreo. We started driving to the vet, but we didn't make it. Oreo is gone. The following summer, I decided it was time for me to leave too, and I moved to the city. I can't say I expected to be making YouTube videos, but the future is weird. As for the past, Oreo and my old friends might not be around anymore, but at the same time, they always will be. I've been afraid of changing, 'cause I built my life around you. But time makes you bolder, children get older, and I'm getting old.